All right.
Okay.
All right. Lay it on me. What am I doing?
I have no idea, dude. I would suggest not working in the untitles because sometimes
Sure.
that could act a little screwy. But well, just go back to your TI launch is fine, unless you want to start up a new
No, I'd
tab.
rather start fresh.
Okay.
Look, and we're starting literally fresh.
Just I was gonna say no, that's fine.
All right.
Okay. So go ahead and start coding something.
So as I said, oh, now see that's interesting. Again, my hot string for some reason isn't
I
didn't.
did test a couple of hot strings and I didn't have any trouble. Do you have a hot string that doesn't involve the period?
I'm thinking. Almost all of mine do. All that come to memory do.
How are you activating it? By space?
Yes.
Huh. Try enter, maybe.
Oh, that one worked.
It might just be the fact that um, it ends in a dot, and that's something that's
Uh huh.
important to Studio. But
Uh huh.
I'll have to look at that and see what's going on. It's strange.
All right. Well, not a big deal. Let me. Oops. Ha. It's funny. We were talking about how one that has an include. Almost everything I do has an include. Just it includes my default settings.
Right.
I forgot. I had forgot. All right. So. All right. So now, if I was going to do, let's just say message box. I'm so original. So
Hey, whatever
so
works.
option. So how does it handle this? So see how, and this is one of those weird things to me about MessageBox of like, well, if you don't use the options, it
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 just becomes the text. Yeah.
yeah, and so I'm not going to fault your the tool here at all because there's two different ways it could work, right?
Right. Yeah,
So
it's silly.
yeah, so there, but it is that highlighting is nice because now I can
Yeah.
actually say I know I'm on the time. That always drove. And then I think you said I can highlight this and just run this.
Yeah, Alt M,
Alt M.
RST. Yeah, go ahead and download the plugin. Oh, good to know. Okay, hit OK and try that again. Because I think the first time, for some reason, there you go.
Yeah.
It's an
Oh,
auditing.
yeah. I got it. Yeah.
But also, go ahead and hit Shift F1. Okay, now Alt M and RCT or RCB. That's the one. Yeah, run comment block. Yeah, download the plugin. There you go. So if you've got a bunch of stuff that you want to run, you can also put it into a comment block and run it from the comment block
Oh,
as well.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that way you don't have to select several lines or worry about the selection. You could just,
Oh,
create
I'm
a
all
comment
right. I
block.
didn't understand that. So I could um this if that run comment block would run all of these is what you're saying.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah. So Alt M RCB, and then it'd say hello world 4 times.
Well, so help me understand too, because that Alt M is so it's bringing up the
All the menus, all
but
the menu items.
okay, but that is I'm just curious. Is there a reason why you don't have menu up here to?
Well, there are menus. All of those items that come up are in those menus. It's probably under
Okay.
tools
Okay.
and
Okay.
da 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 da
All
da.
right. All right. So well, let me because that for me, I mean, I'm never gonna. It's gonna take me a while to remember that, right? So, um, just let me look around here a little.
Run as, I think, or it might be in there. I honestly don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, obviously it's a hotkey you've built. It's just a matter of whether it's in your menu structure, right? Is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. But that's what. Yeah. See, it was throwing me because when I was hitting Alt M, I wasn't. Part of me wanted to say it was hitting Alt and sending this, or it's a hotkey. Um, but you've just configured it as a hotkey that has all the stuff in here, or
Right.
I don't know about all, but yeah.
Go ahead and hit Alt M and then E space H. Enter. Okay, now type in menu and then hit down. So that's the menu search hotkey. And then from here, you can hit enter and change the hotkey for it.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Huh. I was going to ask you that earlier. If I do find I have
You may want to
conflicting...
reset that because it did clear it. See how it's clear now? So hit enter. And then Alt M again, and then escape.
Well, how come? Because I didn't hit this.
Yeah, escape does the same thing as set hotkey. It's something I need to goof around with.
But why did it set it before? Because I didn't. Oh, because I probably hit escape. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You don't want escape normally to be applying what you did.
Right. I know. It's one of those things I need to fix.
Right.
But any of your hotkeys can be set here. You can go ahead and close this. Alt M again. And then type settings.
Well, and just a quick question here too, because earlier you were telling me letters, and I think if I'm looking at this and I typed NSW, it would, at least one of the things would be the new scintilla window. Is that right?
Yeah.
So it's an ordered search. Is that correct?
It's a fuzzy search based. I've got a goofy long algorithm set up to where it's it goes. Priorities are, if the word is in the search term, then it gets a higher priority. If the letters are abbreviations, they get even a higher priority, stuff like that. But basically, there's just some math going on in the background that tries to guess what you're trying to find.
Yeah. And then what's the @ sign there at the beginning?
Hit question mark. There you go. Those are all of your search terms. So you can make that a little bit bigger if you'd like. That way you could see, I think file might not be the last thing down there. But each one of those are, there's a class and a couple others, I think. Yeah, beautiful. Each one of those are used to be prefixes. You can put those anywhere in a search term to
limit it
to a function or a class or whatever. And in my new version, that comes up automatically when you hit Ctrl Alt O, which is the actual trigger for the Omni-search box. But Alt M just makes it so that the @ symbol is populated already in that edit field. You also have Alt J and several others.
All right, I'm with you now. Yeah, and then what if? And maybe you said this earlier while I was thinking, but what if I didn't? I just blanket if I wanted to have go everything.
Go ahead, just type.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have me in here. Oh wait, I am in here. Oh, those are all my files. Okay, it's searching.
Well, you've got a whole pile of labels that have your name in there.
Yeah, which I don't remember at all. But anyway.
Yeah, hit enter and it'll take you to it.
No, that's all right. Oh, that's my high. Yeah, I'm sorry. I saw LinkedIn and I'm like, but it's just it's my launcher. That's my. I have this, which launches a lot of different scripts, and so that's what that is. This is anyway. We'll stay on your stuff.
That's fine.
So cool. Okay. So oh. And so that's searching, again, that's searching the AHK extensions in basically the main libraries and places where AutoHotkey files are.
Your libraries, all the files that are open, everything. So if you open a file, and see right now most of what's coming up in there is all of the stuff that's in your libraries, since you seem to have quite a few library files. So it's going to bring that stuff up in the search as well. But when you start adding things to, like hit the and sign, you see you have your R Alt in this Well, no, that's
Oh,
not
it's
in.
everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, but you can start typing like RALT, and it'll make it a little more finite. Then let's see, tester. There it is. It's the first one up on top. Fresh.ahk. So if you hit enter, that'll take you and it'll take and select that hotkey.
You mean the file?
Well, it'll take you to that file and then select if you see.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that was actually sorry. Yeah, that
No,
I
that's
was
fine.
typing. It was a hot. You're right. But what now? Let's see. I'm going to hit Alt M because I can't remember what I should have typed. What was it? A question? No, ampersand. Right. So I have this RALT. The right alt is one of my and these right. This is in like I'm sure at least 500 of my files.
Sure.
How come they're not coming up here?
They are. I'm guessing now. Are all of them in the library files
No,
that
no,
are?
they're not. They're not.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
See,
it's not searching. Okay.
no,
See,
no, it's only your libraries, your main library
yeah.
files, and then the files you have open within Studio.
Okay.
I apologize.
Just to clarify, so under my AutoHotkey folder, right? I mean, I
Mhm.
know this is the lib folder. Then there's under your documents or something, but I when I'm testing and building, I have all of these. This is where all of those would be, but
Right,
it's not. That's where it gets back to. I would love to be able to say, hey, go look here and everything beneath here. You know. Um,
right.
but yeah, cool. Okay, that helps.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I will get to in time.
Yep.
But yeah, that would also, I'd have to actually open them and index them and everything else. So
Gotcha.
it
Right.
would be a little different. So
Yeah. Yeah. I
oh
use grepwin a lot for that purpose of going across and finding text in whatever files.
oh cool, good to know.
And it actually was the other thing I love, which site does too, is the search replace. Even with regex or whatever for all the text, so you can tell it in these specific files everywhere. Go find this text and replace it with that, which can be a lifesaver.
Hit at
Oh, sorry.
okay, that's fine. Alt M and then E space R or F space R. I apologize. Find replace, hit enter, and that probably comes up on a different monitor.
Yeah. Well, what was I mean? I purposely moved everything to this monitor because last time it was popping up on the other one. But anyway.
Yeah. So in here you can set current segment only. You can go do case sensitive regex and all that.
Yep.
And in current selection, you can select some text and then it'll only add replace within
Yeah. I use that
those.
in Site a lot. Just because you just never know if it's a big file where that might be elsewhere.
Right.
Um,
I thought I had it to where you could. Oh, okay. Current segment only. That's the one. You want to, if you only want it to work in that particular segment, make sure that's checked.
what?
Because if not, it'll go through the entire project.
So segment is like this file?
A segment is an include.
Okay.
So like this file is a segment. If you create another include, that's considered a segment in Studio.
And I would know where I am by looking at where I'm highlighted over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that and you've got the file name up at the top as well to let you know where you're at.
Okay. All right.
But okay, let's go ahead and throw in an include. Just make something simple. Let's say we're going to create a function. So go ahead and go to File. I believe it's still in there. New segment. Yes, good. It's still there. About halfway down, right after the split. Okay, so let's call this my function, and then enter. And yes, let's create the function. Let's have it already there. So now you'll notice your cursor's in the spot where you would put your arguments. So you can go ahead and put in a few arguments there. Beautiful. And then give it like MsgBox ABC or whatever. It doesn't
Huh.
really.
How weird. Did you see that?
Yeah,
So some that one seems to work very consistently, but this one and the
this
other
one.
one doesn't.
That's odd. You forgot your G there.
Thanks.
There you go. Okay, now go Alt left to take you back to the main script. And you'll notice at the bottom you have your include at the bottom, so you don't have to worry about that. Then now hit enter.
Well, so let me do two questions before we go further.
Sure, absolutely.
So on that other file, I said new segment. That automatic, and then I even said use the name of what I'm typing. So it saved that file here, and then added the include command to my main script.
Mm-hmm,
But the other thing that I was curious about, because I added this message box hi here, will that have
mm-hmm.
automatically been saved? And is there an indication here of whether it's saved or if it's like has a, something saying it's not currently saved?
Oddly enough, in the top bar, it's not saved. You see the little
Uh huh.
dirty signal,
Yeah.
but for some reason, that's odd. You see how fresh is edited,
Yes. Yeah.
but for some reason, my function isn't. Go ahead and hit File Save, and you'll notice. See the little green marks on the side?
Yeah.
As you type, go ahead and type and change the text.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a dirty indicator to
Wow.
let you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
And now go ahead and save again, Alt FS or however
This
you
is
like
interesting.
to.
Is now it actually is tracking that correctly on the
Yeah,
right.
sometimes it's a little goofy.
All right.
I apologize.
All right.
Now Alt M and CLS, enter. That gets rid of your line statuses. You can also, there's an option to disable the line statuses if you don't want to see the little red and green
Man,
pop up.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I would leave that on there.
Okay, so go ahead and Alt left again, take you back to your main script.
Yep.
Now get on a blank line. And now Alt I is a fun little thing. You only have one function, so it's going to call that function. If you had more than one function, English is my first language, then it would bring up a list of the functions that you have. Salad, yum.
No, it doesn't know it's a function, but it'll automatically.
There you go. Now you. Perfect.
Save that. Come back to.
Now
here.
you don't have to save it every time.
Oh, yeah, I'll never get over that, but but I hear you. All right, and then it was Alt I. Is that
Alt I.
Alt I. Ah.
And then your required information comes up along with the function, the IntelliSense, I guess it's called. I don't know.
Yep. No. Yeah. Yeah.
But that'll come up to let you know what's required and where you are within that requirement.
Yeah. So if I come back here and do that one, since there's more parameters, right? Yeah. Yeah. That is awesome, man.
Yeah. So that way you don't have to remember everything that's going on. Now put your cursor in my function.
On the
Just
other.
basically slide it over to the left to get your cursor in the word my function.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm the function's on the other thing. Yeah.
Now hit Alt F1. What that will do is that will find that function wherever it is that you defined it, select the function, and let you know that, okay, this is where the function is. This is basically a shortcut or easy way to find that function that you had reference to.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get up into salad and it'll do the same thing, and it'll select salad rather than function.
Oh.
Alt F1. There you go. So those can be in totally separate files anywhere as long as they're an include that AutoHotkey Studio can see, which it catches 99% of everything that's included. If you've got a weird syntax that I've not accounted for, then yeah, it may be missed.
Yeah.
Just let me know
Yeah.
what you did and send me a copy of the file,
yeah, sure, I understand.
so I can add it. But that's basically, how AutoHotkey Studio can save you some time in finding your code, and that way you can look at it and say, okay, well, this is what it's asking for, but I want to see the nitty gritty of what's going on in that function. That takes you to the function. Then you can just Alt left and go back to to where you were.
Well, and I think that the example we did earlier, and let's do it right now. Where
Sure.
I'm gonna copy this, go back to this one. I'm gonna put this in here, but I'm gonna say my salad. And now remind me here, we moved this to its own file even before, right?
Right.
How did we do that?
That shortcut key is, I believe, Ctrl Alt N, or you know what? It might be Ctrl Shift N. I apologize. It's one of those two. Yeah.
My salad test. Awesome. So now, and I can see it here, and I can Alt back over, and now put the include, because my point was, not only did you make it easy, what was this? Alt F1?
Yes.
Not only did you make it easy to go find that, but you also made it easy to just break it out automatically, right? You had to hear, hey, I really want these all in their own things. Mm-hmm. It does the hard work for you.
Yep.
Is there something, not that I would do this, but I kind of like having my includes, whether they're at the top or the bottom, I just like having them together. Is there a way to easily organize those, or you just do it manually?
Ctrl Shift Up. Should be, there you go.
Oh, just moving it. Okay, sorry. All right.
Also, move the line for, go ahead and delete that or move it or whatever you like.
I'm just playing, yeah.
No, absolutely. Go to line 8 and put it below line 9. Beautiful. Now select lines 8 and 9. Now type Alt-M and sort. Alt-M, I apologize, for the menu. Sort selected, hit enter. And download the plugin. Sorry. There's a lot of plugins. Okay, now leave it as the trailing slash and hit OK. Or just hit enter. And you'll notice that it re-alphabetized them. Mm-hmm. So you can have, this is what I personally do, you can have a list of 100, 200 includes. Select them all, sort the selection by the slash, and it'll alphabetize every one of them.
I was playing. Yeah, I do that so often. I have a hotkey that uppercases it, dedupes it, and then alphabetizes it. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to build in some little things like that to make life a little easier.
Yeah. You
can also do like A comma or C comma A comma D, select that, and then as the delimiter use a comma, and then it'll.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So that you can try that out if you like. It's
I got it. Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Go to a line and press F2.
Oh, with
it has to have some text in it. I apologize. That's the duplicate. You can change that hotkey to whatever you like. Undo, Control Z, all that stuff should be the same.
So here's a nice thing that I like with Sight that I also had to configure, but it keeps track of your undo even after you've saved it.
Yeah, that does it.
Good.
That's just a standard feature.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I like a lot of programs don't. Simpler programs don't have that built in.
Yeah, the only time you lose your undo is when you close a file. Then your undo history's gone.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I,
it'll.
I thought it did, but maybe you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe it was just when I've been working it. You know what? That could be.
Yeah. I've got a better. Go ahead and save this. Alt FS or however you like to save. Now Alt M. RCF. Restore current file. Hit enter. Reply. Download the plugin. Sorry. Okay. It keeps a running backup of every time you've edited this particular script.
Well, where is it?
It saves it. This is why I told you to create its own folder.
Yeah.
Because in the projects folder, there's a backup folder that has all of these previous iterations in it. Go ahead and in Studio can.
Yeah. Okay. And then when I close out Studio, these all get deleted?
No, they don't get deleted. You can clean them up, though, and I'll show you how to clean them up. Real simple. No, don't delete them. Yeah, if you edit more than one file at a time, it'll save all of the files and back them up at that timestamp. So you can't lose a version. See, in that at that time you edited both the main file and the one of the includes.
Is that something you can turn off?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't mean just delete them and clean them up, but you just not have the feature off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a bit, like I said, since I work under Dropbox,
mm-hmm.
I don't have concern. I can always go back to my versions. I mean, granted, it'd be more of a pain, but yeah. All right.
Alt M.
Oops.
And DB, disable backup. There it is. There you go. It's done. But if you go Alt M and type in full backup, hit enter. What that does, if you go to the folder,
consolidates them.
Yes.
Yeah. To the
what it technically does,
current one of the
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Deletes everything except for the and then uses that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that actually is closer to what I like. But anyway, cool.
Yeah, it's not automatic. Also, there's one called Alt M and then OB, I believe. Yeah, one backup. If you have multiple full backups, you do the one backup, and it takes the current snapshot and puts it into the full backup folder, and gets rid of all of the other incremental full backups.
Okay.
So a full backup, if you do another full backup, it'll say full backup and then the date stamp.
Mm-hmm.
But with the one backup, it gets rid of all of those full backups, makes one, and you're done.
Cool.
But if you've disabled the backups, then it doesn't do anything.
Right. Yeah. Show
so,
me.
Yeah.
I'm curious because it's one of the things in Sight I don't like. I mean, I know I can have bookmarks and
mm-hmm.
use them, but it doesn't automatically keep track of them, and you have to save them and then reload them. Mm-hmm. So let's say I had a big, longer file here. So show me here, how do I insert a bookmark down here?
Okay, between the line numbers and the fold indicators.
Yep.
Shift and click. That's a bookmark. So you can change the name of that. It's going to default to the name of the file that it's in. You can also edit that and have like a date, time, stamp, and all that other crap in it. But now go to Ctrl Alt O, and then put in a pound sign, and then hit enter. So now you've got a hard-coded bookmark that will stay. And then change the name of it so that you can differentiate between.
Okay, yeah.
Like I said, it does default to just the name of the file.
Yeah. But, I mean, you have to have something, right? And unless it's on a label, how would it know
Right.
what I mean, maybe that's the only thing I would offer up of like, hey, if you could say detect if you're on a label, then try that. So it was Alt what O? Alt
Ctrl Alt O
Control
stands for
O.
Omnibox. Oh, that's sometimes that does get resized. I've done a lot of work on that in the new version, so it will be fixed. Enter will
It
jump to it.
yeah. For me would be handy here would be instead of the file, which seems to, I mean there. So this goes across files. It'll keep track of all my bookmarks I have
Everyone.
everywhere. Okay. But I was gonna say was the line number would be when I'm working
Okay.
in one file, the line number could be really insightful, right? Helpful.
Okay.
But yeah. See, I wouldn't have thought bookmarks. I don't think of bookmarks that way across files, so I'd have to rethink how I would use a bookmark. But anyway, okay, good to know.
Right. That's what. Also, if you shift click and on a line that already has a bookmark, it'll get rid of it.
I'm sorry. Say it again. Shift click and do what?
Just shift click in there. See, it toggles them.
Yep.
So if you don't want that bookmark anymore, you can take the time to delete it, or
Sure.
you can shift and click. There's also an option that's Alt M. Shift, just type in SB, I think, S space B. Yeah, Shift Breakpoint, that's the one. Hit that. Now just click and it'll put in a bookmark. Now you have to hit Shift to create a breakpoint. So if you hold Shift and then click in the same spot, it'll create a breakpoint rather than a little more to the left there. But yeah, so that's a breakpoint.
Huh.
And it doesn't matter what you name the breakpoints
Uh-huh.
because to the debugger, it's just a breakpoint.
Uh-huh. Sure. Yeah.
But for you, it's like another thing that you could say, okay, this is where X happens.
In the debug output, it'll show you the name of what you typed.
I don't believe so, no,
Oh.
because that's more for my search, my Omni-search, so that you can differentiate your breakpoints.
Uh-huh.
When it actually sends it to the debugger, it just says this is a breakpoint in
Yeah.
this file
Yeah.
on this line.
This line,
That's all.
yeah, and then jumps you to it. You show me
Yeah,
that. Yeah. Yeah, which is fine. I mean, if it jumps you to it, who cares, right?
right.
You know what you're on.
Yeah,
So
and I tried to make it give some parity between if you hit Ctrl Alt O and bring up the Omni-search. If you put in a star, it'll bring up the list of your breakpoints.
hmm.
If you put in a pound sign, it'll bring up the list of all of your bookmarks. And then functions are open parentheses, classes are open braces, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I really got to work on that. There's so many improvements I have
Well,
for the next version.
yeah. You know what I would love in this is like across the top of this, even what I would love is just radio buttons where I can click it, or just a cheat sheet, right? Of
Well, that's
have
what the question mark's for.
yeah, but you got to know you to type the
Well,
question
in the
mark.
new version, as long as if there's an empty, if you've got an empty search term, it brings up this list for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, new version, much more user friendly. It's just one of those things. I am working on
Yeah,
it, honestly.
yeah. I'm not complaining, but yeah, and now I see with this many, I can understand how it would be hard to get that into a GUI. It would make the GUI really big,
Yes, it would.
right?
It
So
would be unwieldy.
yeah,
So, like I said, it will be updated and things will be prettier. It's just, as I get ideas, I put them in.
yeah. I guess what I would then come back and just say, well, at least either A, fix it where it always starts with the question mark, at least the question mark,
Mhm.
or B, at least at the top have the question mark as a reminder, you know, type question mark to get the list of the items.
Right. I'll show you when we're done with the recording
Yeah.
how it comes up now.
Okay. Okay.
So that
Fair enough.
it'll put a lot of your mind at ease on
Okay.
that.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing when you have such a tool with so many options is like, man, it's hard to.
Yeah, there's a lot of crap to wrap your mind around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I like to show people how to use it rather than give documentation, because I do have hit escape and go to help and menu help. Yes, download it. Now go ahead and all of the files, go ahead and select like Scintilla Control, whatever, it doesn't matter, just select one of them. Oh, you know what? Go ahead and hit update, or actually, go ahead and close it and then reopen it, because I think there's a bug for that. It downloads the file, but it tries to, go ahead and just hit menu help again. Now you should have all of the stuff in there. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Some of them I don't have information on.
Ah, okay.
But it gives a short, great
cool
idea of what it does. It's not a great help, but for now
something.
it's
yeah.
Reasonable. Yeah, the jump to is actually quite handy. The Alt F1 does jump to first available, but say you've got 7 different things, like a class called food and a function called food and a label called food. If you hit jump to first available, it'll bring up a list and say, all right, do you want the class, the label, or the function? Or you can say jump to function on one of those instances of food. It'll automatically jump you to the function.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than bring up the list and ask, all right, which one of these do you want me to go to?
Right.
And Omnisearch is basic. Oh, yeah. It's kind of silly, but if you go to the Omnisearch and put in a plus, it'll bring up a list of all of your functions. And I can show you, if you want to hit escape or close it, go ahead and Ctrl Alt O, and then put in a plus. This is probably going to be removed, but put in what was one of the functions that you had that we just created?
Salad.
Salad, that's a good one. So just type SA, there we go, beautiful. Then hit enter.
You know what it is? When I hit the enter on my number keypad.
Yeah, it's not the same. I've got to fix that.
Yeah.
So now it's going to ask, what do you want to be in B? So you can type in a word that would go in for that. And then hit OK, and then it'll put in it was kind of a thing before I had the Alt-I. So it's probably going to be removed in future versions, but for now it's going to stay in. Just, a goofy little thing to let you know that it's there, but, okay, another thing that I absolutely adore that I want you to give a shot, Alt-M and E space R. Edit replacements, hit enter. Now, go ahead and for a value, give it whatever, odd code you want to give it, that this will give, beautiful. Well, no, just the value that you want to replace. So just put in like MS is fine. Then hit tab and go down to the next one. Now put in MsgBox space, then $, or I'm sorry, $. I apologize. $, and then input, just a word. Input's fine. Okay, now put in a $sign and then a pipe.
Do I need a space here?
No, no, no. Beautiful. Now go ahead and add that. Now hit escape or close the window. Now type in MS, Shift Enter.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, space will work as well, but Shift
MS.
Enter doesn't put the space at the end.
Okay.
So now put in what value you want for the input, and then hit Enter. And then you'll notice that your cursor's at the end. Now, wherever you put that $sign pipe is where the cursor's going to be after it's done.
Okay.
So you can have multiple lines and then say put your cursor on the second line in the middle of something else.
Yeah.
So that way it's not just putting it in there and putting it all the way at the end.
Right.
So what I do that for is for like while loops and stuff like that. I have a certain way of doing while loops that I don't like typing it 1,000 times. So I just have it while reg. It's basically a regex loop.
Huh.
And it'll automatically just ask me, okay, what's the values that you want for your inputs? And whatever input you put in, and also if you duplicate an input value, it'll automatically replace all of those duplicates. So
that, yeah, I was going to ask you that. I assume that's what would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big benefit, right?
That's the whole point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that way you can, 2-3 different places have the same values put in.
But what's the benefit of that, of just doing a search replace on the text itself?
It's just so that
because you can store it and reuse it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And the only thing that you have to put in the little $sign values for are things that would be specific to that code.
Right.
So
cool.
It's a stupid time saver. I can't tell you how many thousands of character strokes it saved me.
Hey, yeah, I hear you. You know what? It amazes me, and actually, since you said you don't have a programming background either, I work with programmers, right? I've tried showing them how they could easily use just hot strings, which are to me are the easiest things you can adopt, and they still have like no interest in doing it. And I'm like, but they're programmers, right? Can't you look at this and go, "Wow, I can use this in anything"? But yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just amazing. People get stuck in their ways, and
it drives me nuts. But
yeah,
that's why I want to try to get people to use Studio, because number one, everything is relatively automatic. You don't have to think about, if you choose to have indentation, you don't have to think about your indentation. If you put in an if something, hit enter, it'll automatically go ahead and put in an expression.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it user? No.
Okay, good. Beautiful. And double quotes, do all that stuff you need. Perfect. Now hit enter. Now it's going to be indented.
Mm-hmm.
And then hit enter again. Oh, yeah. Undo just once. There you go. And then it's back to the left. And if else,
is that one word? I don't remember.
No, else is just else if.
That's what it is.
Else space if. Yeah, else if is another thing. Or
unfortunately, I've programmed in Python and another one, and they all do them differently. But
oh, I'm sure.
Else if.
Yeah, else is also valid.
Do I now?
Just enter. You gotta give it a new line for that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then just it keeps track of that. But if you were to open up a brace at the top, all right, this is fun. Go ahead and put a curly brace at the end of line 20, right where your cursor already is.
With this way?
Yep, you got it.
All right.
Now hit Shift Enter. Now you'll notice it dropped it down below the next line,
Yeah.
and it kept the one true brace. So if there's an else statement or another if statement below it, it'll automatically one true brace it there.
Wow. Yeah.
So then you can just hit enter, and then it'll automatically lock your indentation to that braced level.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that would really. I mean, I don't know if you saw some. I don't care much. Even though once I got used to it in Python, I really could see how it makes it so much more readable.
It's terribly helpful for readability.
Yeah, and I'm like, it took me a while because I would get annoyed. But having said that, once you get used to it, it does make it much easier to pick up and reread and stuff. And the fact that this is doing it for you, that's awesome.
Yeah, as long as you allow it to. You can turn it off and tab indentation however you like. That's perfectly well and good. It's just I prefer, to have comment for myself.
I was just seeing how they displayed.
You can also Alt M and theme, THEME, beautiful. It'll ask you to download a plugin, of course. You can change, that's main background, so you can go to a light color or anything like that. Or click on anything to the right. And anything that's in white is currently just the standard text. Block comments are lines 5 through 7 or 5 through 8. So if you click on that, you can change the color of that. You can also change the font style as well by holding Control and clicking on an item. So
walk me through doing one or two of these because I'm just not following you.
Okay, so just left click on the multi-line comment, or actually no, line 18, the comment, because you said you wanted to know how that worked. So click on that and then change the color. That's fine. Just hit OK and you're good to go. So now your comments are all that color. Now control click on that comment or any comment in there. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Now go ahead and change it to a different font style.
Wow.
So now all of your comments are a different font style. And you can have it italicized, which it already is, or you can block that off, or whatever you like. You can do that with any style.
Well.
Yeah, if you make things big.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to change the spacing.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Keep a similar size.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, you can make it whatever you like. It's
I got you.
Totally up to you. It's just going to
That's cool.
change. Your variables can have a different color. Labels can have a different color. Functions, built-in functions, all of those can have separate colors. So a colon equals and those variables are only if it's right together. You can't have spaces, unfortunately. I apologize, but there's nothing I can do about that.
Oh, I'm out of here.
I know. It's a pain in the
ass. What about do you have has someone is there more than one default overall
slide
theme?
Down. Download themes. There's a couple.
Oh, there we go. I have a hard time reading the gray background stuff.
Sublime is a little lighter. BGM Coders is lighter.
That's too bright.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that I can actually pick up better.
Yeah.
That's blistering again.
You can pick a color scheme you like,
Yeah,
and then you can change the background
yeah, and that'll make the
globally.
biggest difference, right? Yeah, actually, I'll go back to where was.
It starts off at, yeah, Muakai. That's the one, Harmonikai. So slide up to the top, and that's kind of cool looking. Yeah, you actually have to click on them. I don't have the,
I didn't. Yeah,
but just find one you like,
yeah,
the
yeah. I
basic
gotcha.
colors of,
Right.
and
That's
then
why I
up at
was
the
thinking
top,
this one, and then now how do I? Oh, I
slide
gotta.
up to the top
Yeah, to the
and the
background.
background, and then just go ahead and change that color.
But
Anything you like. I mean, you got
yeah, but that I mean that I still don't. That is see that's too whitewashed.
darken it down. Just grab the slider and pull it
Yeah.
down.
You know what? I'm just gonna for now. Let's just go back to one of the default themes, and I'll go play with it later.
To change the line number indicators, if I'm not mistaken, you have to make the window a little bit bigger because the instructions are at the bottom. Yeah, a little bit bigger.
I because I knew we were recording this, I shrunk my resolution down so just everything
That's
would be
fine.
a better
That's fine.
size. So yeah, it's not your thing, I think.
A little bit. Just scroll down a little bit on that side window. There you go. Uh, Background. So Alt click the line numbers onto the left there,
Oops, I hit the wrong button.
and then there you can change the background for the line number color.
Oh, I got you. Sorry. All right. Yeah.
So that way you can have like a good delineation between
Right.
the actual background of the text and the line numbers as well. And I want to change it a little more so you can actually see the difference. Oh, there you go. That'll be visible.
And
And
then
then
that.
just left click the line numbers, and then you can change the color of the line numbers themselves to a good black color. Yeah,
There
there
we
you
go.
go.
All right.
Now you can see the difference. Oh, the Project Explorer, you can also change the colors of the Project Explorer to be different than the background color of the
Mm-hmm.
main edit window. So that's why that is. And the text at the bottom, the status bar text, can also have a different font
Right.
style as well.
Yeah.
So that's also changeable in the themes window. You've got quite a few library files, that's for sure.
Yeah. I can get rid of a fair amount of them, but who
Nah, me
cares,
neither.
right? I mean, I don't call them. So,
Yeah,
although with your, maybe it does have it going through a lot more. But anyway.
it's not much.
Okay.
Honestly,
Yeah,
the
they're
amount of
small
time,
files. Yeah.
yeah, the amount of time that it takes to open the program, it's minuscule.
Yeah.
I have at any given time over 220 files open, usually between 200 to 220, and it's about 2.5 seconds to get it to start, scan all the files, and then get ready to go. So just those few files, I can't imagine it being that big a deal.
By the way, is there a way that I can, instead of having to keep downloading one at a time, can I just download everything?
Uh, Alt M, download, enter, and then hit check all, and then download checked.
Cool.
It'll give you a message box when it's done. And that should be all of them. So your MsgBox Creator and all that other stuff should be downloaded now. So if you want to use it, just
Yeah.
Alt M.
Yeah, show me.
Alt M, MSG, enter, and there's your MsgBox Creator. And then choose your buttons, then an icon, default button, all that other stuff. And once you've got it set, you've got your timeout, you just insert it into the code and you're good to go.
Yeah, I didn't know this because I've seen this in that other Insight or something very similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, it definitely comes in very handy.
It can be, yeah.
To quickly crank something out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's mostly, my thing is the options. It's just, okay, all right, okay is 0, okay cancels 1, and so on and so forth. Or I'd probably said everything wrong, but you don't have to think.
Yeah,
you just tell it.
Yeah,
do that.
This input, yeah, that's what these were. These are scripts that launch those, and then this is the one that I mentioned. It looks at you drop your file on here, and it'll show you the classes and things in it.
Oh, interesting. That probably could have saved me some time when I was writing all my detection algorithms.
I can't imagine. You know, yeah. I mean, for me, I don't think I would have tried. I know my limitations.
It was a lot of trial and error, that's for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
So, what other fun stuff can Studio help you with? Basically, it's a way to make it so that you just put your ideas in it,
yep,
and it takes care of the rest. Word wrap indicators. If you
so I work on probably like on average 4 different computers.
Okay.
Which is also why, generally speaking, I try to have everything under Dropbox, which
syncs across.
Yeah, and in the site, I've created a system variable for the site to go, and because when I would go update stuff in the site, it would end up wiping up. Anyway, it was a mess. But anyway, I've got it figured out. How does AHK Studio work with multiple computers, and if I install it under Dropbox, is it gonna just basically be fine and stay synced everywhere?
I wouldn't suggest it because it may run a little slow, but I don't see why it would have a trouble.
Okay.
As long as their paths are the same on each computer.
They are. Yeah.
Okay, as long as your paths are the same, it'll open up exactly the same on every computer as long as
it's funny you say that. Last night, that's one of the videos I actually did, was my B drive, right, is actually the root of my Dropbox.
Okay.
And the B drive isn't a drive at all. It's so under my C drive is Dropbox, right? And that's just, so here,
that's your B drive.
Yeah. And that is how I have controlled on every computer. I go configure, regardless of where Dropbox is, I make it my B drive, and then all my paths and everything are the same. And like, wow, it was a lifesaver to make things work easily.
Yeah, if you put Studio on your Dropbox and everything is the same, then it should be absolutely fine from computer to computer.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a biggie for me, because keeping it updated everywhere was just a nightmare.
Yeah, like I said, as long as the files are synced, you're fine.
Yeah.
Because it keeps track of what files to open, just the main file, and then it reads the includes every time when it's open. So as long as those includes are the same, or if you add some includes to one of your projects, save it, go to your other computer, sync Dropbox, open it up, they're all going to be there.
Yep.
So,
do I have the ability to, I mean, is it easy to customize the context menu or things like that?
Context menu, unfortunately, right now, no. All the main menus, yes. If you go to settings, you can rearrange the entire menu structure.
Where are settings?
Alt-M and settings.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Just settings itself. Not sure what that was. Oh, that's right. Go ahead back to Studio. It I had a little thing where it would automatically open up a setting. Yeah, just hit enter there. There you go. Okay, so each main main folder, main
Yeah.
menu
Yeah.
is there. Each of the sub items are there.
Yep.
You can go in and change the icon for each individual thing if you'd like. That's totally up to you. Um, just so you know, if you want to add a level or a top level icon, there's a button or a radio down to the bottom right hand side that says top level icon. You click that. Uh, there you go. And then you click an icon in there in the list there. That'll be for the actual debug rather than the item that is selected.
You're referring to this, right?
Right.
But I don't
All right. Click
understand.
on tools. Click on tools, the one above it. Oh,
Okay.
no. In the
Sorry. Yeah.
there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Now click on an icon. Oh, to the right. Yeah. Okay. Now go ahead and close just hit escape or close the menu. See, now you've got tools with that icon. So you can click that. There's the debug. Those are the top levels. See how they have children under them?
Mm-hmm.
So that top level radio or checkbox only deals with the top level that you have selected. So if you go back to the settings, I'll show you the converse of that. So go ahead and select new segment, the second one down in the right hand or the center box. Perfect. Now you don't have top level icon on, so go ahead and select an icon. Now under File, New Segment, hit Escape. Or escape should work, but just close it. I apologize. Then if you go to File, the new segment will have your icon on.
But how is that different than what we did before?
Because it's not a top level. See, like
Oh, okay.
File
All
is a
right.
top
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand. I like in these, I've built menus and sub menus and stuff. I
Yeah.
understand how those are structured. It drove me nuts.
Oh yeah.
Figuring it out, but yeah.
Yeah. Imagine making that
Oh, I
uh,
can't. Yeah.
dynamic. So
Yeah,
go back to
I had looked at that and I'm like, oh mercy. I'm like, yeah, that's beyond me.
go back to the settings real quick. I'll show you how you can
Trying to
rearrange
get rid of
things.
my window here for some reason. It doesn't. I'll just run something. All right. So all right. So settings.
Mm-hmm. And then just select one or two of the items in the item side, so to the right. Okay, beautiful. Now hit Control Up or down. Okay, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
So you can rearrange those things.
Yep.
Alt S will add a separator. So if you want to add separators to your menu, you can do that, or whatever. Or you can, I believe it's Alt or Control M. You can move that menu item to any one of those main menus.
So let's say I was a crazy person, which there are people out there like that, and I totally tweak this to the way I want. Can I export all my settings, and then that way, if you have an upgrade, I can go import the values? You know the.
Well, as I update Studio and add menu items,
Uh huh.
it doesn't mess with your setup.
Uh huh.
It will add it to
Uh huh.
where I put it.
Yeah, gotcha. But if
So you
I
don't
what
have
if
to
I
worry
got
about
rid of? Anyway, I'm not gonna worry
it.
about
You don't want to get rid of items.
it. Okay. Yeah.
But
Fair
if
enough.
you do get rid of something, it'll just re-add it.
All right. Yeah. All right. That's acceptable.
Yeah. But you can this menu setting, you know how I say I don't know where it is in the menu settings or
Yeah.
in the menus?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. I
Yeah.
didn't make this menu.
Oh, okay. I was just going with there's so many options, but
No, I didn't
oh,
make it. I had it to where there was maybe 6 top levels, and everything below it was
Yeah.
just one big menu.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, dude, if I give you an update, will you use it?
Yeah.
I said, sure.
Yeah.
I don't care where they are. I don't use
Yeah.
them.
Right. And it does overall, help people be able to use it because it gives structure and
Sure.
organizes it in ways. And yeah,
Hmm.
when you're new, I mean that with anything, right? You use the GUI so much more.
Well, absolutely.
Um, that was why I was asking about having that some sort of a cheat sheet for the hotkeys because I obviously right we're using AutoHotkey where most people are very comfortable in using hotkeys, but
Right.
you got to still know what they are in
What
the
those
first
hotkeys
place.
are. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. If you click on the options at the top, it'll also bring up a list of all the options that are dispersed throughout the menu system. This is just them all in one area,
Oh, okay.
so that you don't have to search this menu, that menu, all the others to toggle them. You can just click, 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 click. Okay, done. Includes in place. That's one that you may be interested in or may not. Depends on where you like your includes to be. If you click that, it'll put the include that when you make a new include file. What it'll do is, if that's on, it'll put it wherever the cursor is. So
Yeah.
just beware.
Yeah.
If
No, I
you,
think that would probably be what I would want.
oh, okay,
That's why
then,
I would think that's why I'm typically wherever I am. I mean, that's what I'm thinking about, so that's where I would expect it to go.
well, then turn it on, leave it on.
You know.
Because now, when you go in and do the create segment from selected, it'll put the include right where that include was.
Isn't that what it did before, though?
No, it puts it at the bottom of the main file.
Oh, okay. I guess because we just didn't have anything else, and I was
Right.
down there when I did it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The last part of that script was what you created the new segment from, and that's why it was there.
All right.
But yeah, now it'll put the include wherever it is. Um, okay, this is experimental and it kind of works most of the time.
Yeah.
So, do you still have that copy of your main script that you made the copy of? Better yet, do you have something that has a lot of functions in it? If not, we'll have fun with.
Yeah, actually, because I noticed it in here. Well, I don't know if it has a lot of functions in it, but
Yeah, more than one.
yeah, the function. I think I actually called it or Excel functions or something. Oh, here we go. This might. No, I just don't know. I mean, maybe you recognize some of these.
I don't have Office, so I don't mess with Excel at
Oh,
all.
here we go. I think this HTTP query has a bunch of functions in it.
Well, no, that's just one function, though.
Oh, all right. This
All
com
right.
one's really old. Did it have a bunch?
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
that's a bunch.
All right.
That's good. All right, type Alt M and then split code. Split should be enough. Oh, there you go. Hit enter. Now, each one of those functions is going to be, so if you hit the down arrow, it's going to go through all of those functions.
Yeah.
Now, let's make a copy of this so that it doesn't break anything, please. So go ahead and hit escape.
I'll just. I mean, it should still be fine, right?
No, it'll still be there. Yeah, I was going to say, I can show you how to get to the folder real fast from Studio.
Oh, all right.
So just, yeah, close that and then go to File, Open Folder. There you go. It should be in there somewhere. Okay, that was the one. Yeah, now put it in its own folder because it's going to split it up into individual
Right. I'm gonna put
files.
it back in that test one that we're working out of.
Perfect. It's the best place to put things. There it was. Whoop.
Oh,
Scooch down a
that's
little
right.
bit.
I keep thinking I put it under anyway, somewhere else. So yeah, okay.
All right, go ahead and drag that into Studio so that it's actually working with that file.
Okay.
Okay, now, okay, we're good. All right, now Alt-M, split. And then now hold, scroll
Yeah.
down to the bottom,
All the way, hold down
all the
shift.
way down. Keep going. Just go to the bottom. Hold shift and click the bottom one.
Yep.
Now hit split selected.
So yeah, I just saw it right when I figured what it was doing.
Yep. So now each one of those functions is in its own file.
Man, I now and it just reminded me of one I have that has a lot of functions is my screen clipping tool.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot of functions, and I use the, what is it, like GDIP library,
Mm-hmm.
but it was so big and I had so much stuff I didn't need. I worked through it and pulled out exactly what I needed,
Mm-hmm.
and it sucked. But been able to do it this way, that would have been, and then just gone and grabbed the pieces, right, and brought them in and been like, oh, I need that one and that one and that one, right, done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Yeah. It's, like I said, it's experimental. It works most of the time. If there's any weird syntaxing, then sometimes it'll falter.
Yeah.
But that's why I give you that preview, so that each one of those ones that you clicked on, just make sure that it's the right text, but just select the ones you want, split it out, and it'll make the individual files for you.
Oh, so okay. So you're saying it's still, as long as you're getting in that preview menu, as long as it's got the right stuff there, whatever you
Right.
highlight, that will get split out.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Not sure why that's double spaced. That's weird. Hit Alt Q. Now put in backslash N backslash N. You're already typing. All right, now click the regex button down there.
Yep.
That's interesting. It should go ahead and edit that /n/n. Just put a space at the end and then backspace. Basically, and then oh, huh. It's weird. It should have selected all of them.
Do we have to have multi-line or greed on?
You could try multi-line, but I don't think it's going to help. No, that's strange. Odd. Huh. I'll have to look into that. But what I was going to say is just select them all and then replace it with a single character line feed for the single space. But that's strange. I will have to look into that.
How does, by the way, how do you in here? Let's say, you know, I need to actually use the backslash. I need to escape it.
Double backslash.
Okay.
Yeah, any escapement in regex is just a backslash.
So it just stays consistent with how AutoHotkey does its stuff?
Oh, yeah. It's a total AutoHotkey box.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know if, for some reason, this was any different.
I wrote everything in AutoHotkey Studio in AutoHotkey, so if you expect it to work in a certain way, that's how it's going to work. And if it doesn't, let me know.
Well, sometimes I don't know enough to, but anyway, I like, especially regex with the dealing with quotes and stuff. I'm like, oh my.
Double quotes, if you do a /x22, that is a quote.
So, like that?
That is a regex quote. Now, whether or not that's going to work, it should work in Studio, but that's how you would do it in an actual regex. Do you have any quotes? Oh, you probably don't.
Well, I mean,
go ahead and throw a quote in the main editor. Okay, now go ahead and put in /x22 as the search. So Alt Q or click, it doesn't matter. No, guess not. That's interesting. It should have, but what do I know? I'll work on that. So you can put in a double quote and it should find it. Yeah. It's interesting that it's not selecting both. You know what? Your multiple selects are probably wrong. Go to Alt M and Theme.
What was it? View?
Theme,
Theme.
Theme.
Sorry.
That's fine. And now look, multiple selection background. That's what it is. Okay. On the left-hand side, about halfway down, there's one that says multiple selection background. Now, you have to do it on the left-hand side.
Sorry. Right.
Yeah, that's fine. But the multiple selection background, and then change that to a different color. Something different from the main, a little more different so that you can see it. Yeah, there you go. Now hit escape or close it. I apologize. Yeah, this one you have to close. Now put in the /n/n. That's what was wrong.
Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. It was highlighting it. The highlighting was just the same background as
the main background.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you hit escape once, only once. Oh, you hit it twice.
No. Well,
Didn't?
I don't think I did.
Oh, it's possible. Just Alt Q and then, or yeah, that. And then space, backspace refreshes it.
And then just escape once, you're saying, right?
One time. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I apologize. Go ahead and do that again. I'm so sorry. So Alt Q, space back, or go to the end, space backspace. Now hit Alt M, replace. Perfect. Hit Enter. Now put in attack N. No,
tick mark?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And hit OK. Or Enter.
Yeah.
There you go. So now everything's single spaced.
Yep.
And just be aware that there were multiple cursors there for each enter. So to get rid of multiple cursors, you just hit escape again. So if you control and then click a bunch of different places, you'll have multiple cursors you can type. Then if you hit escape, it gets rid of all but the main selection, which will be on line 16.
Man, you need... I use, because I don't know if you saw me earlier, just do this part where I was clicking and practicing with that. And,
right.
And I use that in Sight a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's one I would not undersell when you show people, because to me it looks like voodoo stuff, because just not that many programs do that kind of stuff.
It's not common.
Yeah.
At least in most of the normal ones, or people don't know that it exists.
Right.
Anything based on scintilla will do that.
Oh, really? Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, you hold control and click anywhere in any scintilla control. And as long as they don't have it changed, that's default behavior. Now, the Alt and drag sometimes can be a little different.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it should work about the same.
Huh. Cool.
But yeah, that's no voodoo that I did.
Gotcha.
That's just
inherent. Yeah.
Yeah. But Control Alt Shift Up and down or down. That creates a new cursor directly above or below, depending on whether you go up or down.
Very cool.
So that way you don't have to grab your mouse and Alt and click and drag and all that other mess.
So that's also just a built-in...
No, that's something I had to write.
Oh, I was going to say, I was going to start using that in Sight, at least until I...
No, that's my voodoo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's... he may have something. I don't know. I don't use Skype, so... But...
So it was what? Control, Alt, Shift?
Control, Alt, Shift, and then up and down.
Okay. I just gotta try this real quick here.
Just make sure to escape to get rid of.
Nope.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it's
do it
not
there.
going to do
Yep.
anything. Most
Anyway.
people don't deal with that kind of stuff
Yeah.
because it's just weird. Because a lot of times, like, say you're out at the end of line 14 and you see how it's much further
Right.
justified to the right.
Yep.
You hit Control Alt Shift down, it'll go to the end of the line before it, or whatever. But if you, like, say go to the end of line 13
Yep.
and do Control Shift down, it doesn't go to the end of line
Yeah.
14,
Oops.
or not Control Alt Shift down. I apologize.
Yeah. No. I noticed that when I was playing earlier that it doesn't automatically grab. Although now I have Ctrl Alt Shift. Those happen to
Because
all
they're
be in
all
order.
shorter.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Now to get it to the end, just hit Control End, and they'll all go to the end of. Maybe not. Just End. I apologize. I don't use my keyboard.
There you go. Yeah.
My keyboard's set up a little different, so
Yeah.
Control N goes to the end of the document. Shift or just End goes to the end of that line,
Right.
and then Home will take you to the beginning of that line.
Yep.
So, I mean, it does work. It's just you know, there's a lot more control when you're actually control clicking, but if everything's in a line, you can just Control Shift Alt Up or down to get it in that same spot. Also, Alt M, and then type in virtual space, down one and enter. Okay, now hit the right arrow.
Do what?
Hit the right arrow key.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Now hit your Control Alt Shift up and down. Oh, that up.
No, I hit the wrong key.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So it doesn't go across. But yeah, I know in Sight I turned that's a function you can have on or off, and I turned it off because it's
annoying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But for lining up like mass commenting or something like that,
right,
it's really helpful. But
right.
I'd say turn it off, just so you know that it's there.
Yep.
But yeah, virtual space bugs the crap out of me, but people like it, so you got to include it.
So, and that was what I didn't like was, well, and maybe it still won't do it here. How do I? Oh, it's always on. Okay.
Yeah.
So my question here is, now that I did that and I come up here, and that's what Sight did that as well. It would, even if I didn't put something there and decided not to do it, it automatically put in spaces the whole way, and that's what really I didn't like was it was.
Yeah.
Too frequent.
Yeah, if you do Alt M EOL, hopefully the end of lines should all be at the end. Alt M.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. EOL for end of line.
Oop. Apparently, I triggered a hotkey I have. Hold on. Oh, it's still trying to run. Hold on.
Hit escape. Just close it. Actually, what happens, I hit Alt a couple of times, and it'll free up the Alt key. That's interesting. Oh, EOL, end of line. Show EOL, there it is. Yeah, so you don't have any of the extra spaces. Each one of those, line feeds is the end of that line.
Sure.
So if you were to spaced out and then put in text, then yes, it would move that end of line out. But
so I'm glad we actually did this because it surprises me. And when you had me do this, I was going to ask you, and then I forgot about it. In Windows, I thought typically, it's the /R/N. So there's
Yeah,
the
control line feed
yeah.
CRLF. Yeah.
So is that different in AHK Studio?
AHK Studio strips out all of the
Okay.
others. It's just /N.
Okay.
When you save it, it converts it back to /R/N.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're
Good. So
fine.
I'll just have to little functionality of when I'm doing search replace in it, get used to that, but that's fine. I mean, as long as
Yeah.
it's the files, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, all your files will still be fine. They'll still look good in Notepad and everything else. Because Notepad is where that's a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do just /R or just /N, it throws everything on the same line.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be /R/N for Notepad to actually show a new line break, which is rather annoying, but yeah, no, it's one of those things.
Hey, and not to bug you in this, but because you told me the \x22 is a double quote, right,
Mm-hmm.
for regex. Is there something for like a single quote?
Yeah, there's something for everything. Uh, go to Google and type in ASCII code, ASCII code, and that first picture, click it. All right, see the double quote. Oh, that's interesting. /x22. Yeah, 22. See a hex value, 22 is the double quote. Second column, third from the top. So you got your double quote there. And to see over the hex value is 22 to the right or to the left. I apologize.
No, sadly I'm lost.
Okay, the double quote, the character quote there, the character double quote is the third from the top there.
Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. Okay.
There you go.
And so the
Now,
22 here. Okay.
yeah, that's the hex code. So if you want a single quote, let's see
Yeah.
where.
No, I got you. So if I'm reading it right, it's 27.
Probably
If this
sounds.
is that one.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. And stuff like that. But that's, regex wise, that's what I look for. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll put in like a double quote, and then that's the original page that it comes
Yeah.
from.
I'm putting this in my email. This is great. That's going to help me in a lot of other ways. So thank you.
Uh-huh. Oh, I don't know if you noticed or not, but go back to Studio whenever you're done. Don't
Yeah. No, I'm
don't
good.
rush on my
That was good.
But go ahead and put in a character of any sort. All right, now at the bottom, all the way at the bottom in the status update.
Yep.
Last entered character D code 100.
Uh-huh.
That's the ANSI code number.
I'm looking back at that other image real quick. Although let's cheat, right? Let's put in a double quote.
34. That's the ANSI number.
And so 34. So that's okay. So that's this number here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah, decimal and hex are two different, bases. So like an open squiggle brackets 123, I believe. The close is 125. If you put them in there, it'll show you the codes as you type them. So that way, if you
I got you.
If you need to know a character code off the top of your head and you can't remember it, you just type
Sure.
it into Studio and it will tell you what it is.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. Although, I mean, for the regex though, I would need the hexadecimal.
Yeah, the
right?
hex number.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Fair enough. What would you use? So how would you use the 34?
CHR, the built-in function CHR.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Okay.
So, like, if you were to type in a regex string, like type in regex match.
Actually, you know what? Let me pop something open I was working on today. It's that I have something that is actually I think I did it in my work stuff.
Yeah, if we can do something to help you out, then all the better.
Well, I solved it overall, but it was it was complicated. Um, where is my stupid work?
I like complicated.
Oh darn it! It was in the other. All right, I got it, and that's not it either. Here we go.
Gotta love folders.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, but all right. So I can say this: copy path of this file, and then there we go. So I was looping through, and let's see, where are we? Right in here. Well, here is the pattern,
I don't know.
but it was this crazy. Part of it's URL encode of it, and part of it isn't. Um, and there's actually two URLs in it. But anyway, so here is a. Um,
Oh, hit Shift Enter once and watch things go crazy.
Shift Enter.
Hmm.
That just take care of the spacing with the loop.
Yeah.
Oh well, you know what? Let me undo. I'm curious. Oh, so I had. I want to. I want to see something here. So now if I hit just Shift Enter, so that does it everywhere in
Mhm.
the what were you call it, project? Is that what the term?
Just this include basically.
Okay, all right. But yeah, I would. Anyway, I would have thought that would have been more in just what you were on, but that's good to know. I mean, not that I care, right? It's nice to know it does the whole file.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, in my new version, it will be like if you're inside the loop, then
yeah,
it would only deal with the loop.
yeah. I think that's a smart. That's an intuitive approach. How do I turn off these line feeds
Alt
again?
M EOL, and then there you go.
Yeah, all right. So in here, whoa, hey, why does that go so
It
far?
there it's a weird bug in site that or Scintilla that I think I may have addressed. I'm not sure, but it doesn't actually keep track of the width of the actual text. It's
Hmm,
strange.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of those little niggles that I have to deal with.
yeah.
But, oh yeah, little search patterns.
Yeah, I have found even though it takes a little more time up front, oh, it's so much easier to just name them,
Hmm.
something intuitive.
Oh yeah,
Um,
named subpatterns.
yeah.
They're wonderful.
I forget why I think you were going to show me something that it does.
Oh, the reason I said that is because, like, say you're actually in the regex match and
Yeah,
you have it passing that string.
right.
If you want to throw in something in there, go ahead and to the end of the word pattern on line 15. Yeah, inside the regex, just oh, just a little to the left, little more, just the
Yeah, just
regex
that
pattern.
pattern.
There you
Yeah.
go. Hit space, then CHR enter. Oh, that's weird. Backspace. I apologize. That's it should have. Okay, so open parentheses. That should have came up though. Huh, interesting. 34. That's how you could put a double quote in there, as long as it's outside of the thing. CHR 34 is a double quote, so you could put in like double quotes, a text string, then the end, and then double quotes at the end, then space CHR 34. That is a literal double quote. Or you could do a slash X
Uh huh.
22. Either way
Uh huh.
will be the same thing. But with the /x22, you don't have to put it outside of the quotes. This you do. So CHR34 has to be outside of the quotes.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Because it's a function.
Ah, all right. Yeah, all right. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying this could have been inside, and it would have been, what was it, /x22?
/x22, yeah.
And that would have been treated as a double quote.
That is a double quote, yes.
And I'm going to have to play with that a lot,
Mm-hmm.
because that, dealing with some of those special, I work with URLs a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and anyway, yeah. All right, let's get back to AHK Studio, but thank you. Good stuff.
No, that's fine. Like I said, anything I can do to help is I'm happy to.
Yeah, obviously you love it, and it's, yeah, I know, talking to Jackie, the guy, he's out of Denmark, and he also, it's like, you, and I know we're recording this, but I'm like, you run into some people where you try and help them, and even when they want to try, it's like they're just, they're just not there, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like when you can run into someone who can actually learn, I know it's so rewarding.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. So anyway, I greatly appreciate it.
No, there's no problem.
Well, I'm beat. I get up really early. And,
I bet.
so I'm going to go ahead and stop. Is there anything else you want to add before we stop the recording?
Not really. I mean, the only thing, just AHK Studio's malleable. You can make it look how you want it to look, add little extra windows, split the windows. You can add toolbars if you want. I don't use them, but they're there for you if you want. Just right-click and split somewhere and then change it to a toolbar. So split control above, and then right-click on the above window, and control type. Oh, you know what? Yeah, toolbar, new toolbar. Give it a name. You can leave it at that if you like. It doesn't matter. Okay, so now any of those file menu items, just go ahead and tick it, and then click on the icon.
Where am? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Just make sure you put a check mark to actually
Yeah, sure.
include it. Then click on the. You might have to click a different one, then click back. Yeah, there you go. But then once you get it, oh yeah, that'll just go through the list of buttons. So you click it, it'll go back to new. Then click, click,
gotcha.
click. It'll just go through them. Oh yeah, the highlight color. I don't know if that works. Oh, it does. Cool. It just lets you know you can have multiple toolbars.
Yeah.
So it'll let you know which toolbar you're
gotcha.
actually at.
Yeah. Now, all right, now, so either escape or close, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna close that out. Oh, so wow, so that's now a toolbar, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Man, can I position it elsewhere?
You kind of got to make it where you want it.
Okay. Can I shrink the icons?
There is Alt M and small. Enter. So hit OK. Now hit Alt T for Tom. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, that's better.
So then you can right click and split to the left or to the right and create another toolbar, resize it how you want it. I think right click there, lock control, and bottom. There you go. Now when you resize the window, it'll stay the same height.
I'm sorry, say when I resize the window?
Yeah, if you resize the main window, yeah, it's going to tell you it's locked.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Because if you don't lock it, it'll proportionally resize to the size of the window.
Wow.
So, and you can also split off to the right or to the left of your main edit window and make a vertical toolbar as well.
Which, I don't know if you noticed, but when, like here, I put my start menu and everything on the right because most monitors, of course, are a lot wider than they are tall.
Right.
And I'd much rather lose the space here than the limited space I have that way. So that's something I'd consider.
Yeah, right click close to the right hand side split control to the right. Now move that out just a little bit. Uh-oh. Might be too close to the edge. There.
And now I can.
And then just change it to a toolbar.
Okay.
New toolbar because it needs another new one.
Huh.
And then add a few buttons to that. Just click on stuff. It doesn't really matter.
I assume also there's a restore to defaults option somewhere you're going to tell me about. So.
Not so much an option.
Or just uninstall and reinstall.
Well, basically, there's a file in your lib folder called GUI.xml.
Yeah.
Just delete that.
Okay, and then relaunch it and it'll rebuild it.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the name of it again?
GUI.xml.
Okay.
It'll be in the studio folder /libs and then GUI.xml.
What's that? Oh, this is what threw me was the work.
Now, don't delete it yet. You got to close Studio first. Because if you don't, it'll just rebuild it.
Right. So now I can
delete that. And then go back to or just relaunch Studio and everything will
be the default. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
It just rebuilds it. Cool.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that, set up for within the program, but it's not real hard to delete the file.
No. I would just offer add it as one of the menus of rebuild, restore to default, right, and then it runs that. But anyway, yeah, a very impressive tool, man. I'm glad because when I played with it, I'm like, oh, okay, and it. I was pretty happy with Sight overall, and overall I still am because I have all those other languages. But I can definitely see how it's got a lot of great functionality built into it.
And we actually haven't done anything or hardly anything with actually programming.
Right.
This is just goofy little bells and whistles. This isn't.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I think once I start adopting it and get used to the functionality it offers, I could really see how it could save a lot of time with what little bit I've seen. Right.
Yeah, it's a lifesaver when it comes to just basic typing and setting up your little replacements and stuff. That saves so much time because there's so many things that you will find yourself doing over and over and over again. And it's AutoHotkey, automation.
Yeah.
Do it once, it'll do it again.
Right.
And again and again.
Yeah. Yeah, and man, I mean,
let Studio do it.
You didn't. Overall, I'd say I see so many tools built by big companies that are far less intuitive, like in what their options are and what are available.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you did a good job very rarely did I see anything that was remotely like, oh, I wouldn't want that, right? I mean, you have it's configured really well, and yeah, it's awesome.
There's just so much to learn, and I need to take the time to better document it and make some videos for some of the more quirky little things. But for the most part, you just use it.
Oh, you know what? I was gonna recommend or suggest. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video, all right? Because we're at an hour and 40 minutes. But thank you.